Hey everybody, thanks again for joining us here on the Craft Brew Crew as we celebrate another year coming to an end and saluting all of those fine craft beers that we've been enjoying in 2016. Right now we're going to go over a few of the favorite beers that the Craft Brew Crew has had this year. These are not necessarily beers that were released in 2016, but they are beers that we've had for the first time in 2016. The first one we want to mention here is Bell's Brewery and their Oberon Ale, a very refreshing summertime type beer. You really ought to try it if you haven't had it. Also enjoyed Urban Chestnut's Winged Nut. I believe that's a brown ale. Also, Sweet Baby Jesus from Duclaw Brewing in Baltimore. If I remember correctly, that's a peanut butter porter, maybe even chocolate peanut butter porter. It's a good one. Another one from Bell's Brewery, Expedition Stout. It's a great wintertime stout. You've got to try it. Just bursting with multiple flavors in that beer. St. Arnold's Brewing in Houston, Texas. They've got a great Pilsner. It's just called Summer Pils, and I really enjoyed that when I spent some time down in Houston this year. Also in Colorado, in Loveland, Colorado, Grimm Brothers Brewhouse, they've got a really good dunkel called Fearless Youth. It's a good beer you should try out if you can get to the Colorado area. Also Ballast Point from the West Coast, their cream ale called Calm Before the Storm. That is a really good beer. I believe it has some coffee flavor in the cream ale, which makes it very special. Another one that I really liked, but you can actually watch the review right here on the Craft Brew Crew YouTube channel. Josh didn't like it, but myself, Brad, I did like it. It was Key Lime Contact High from Four Hands Brewery in St. Louis, Missouri. Check it out and see what you think about that one. I've been really into cream ales lately and also really enjoyed this one when I was in Denver at a brew house. It's from a place called Station 26 Brewing in Denver, Colorado. It's a tangerine cream ale. It was very tasty. I really wish I had some more of that beer because I really enjoyed it. Going up the charts, even higher rated. I really enjoyed this one from Ballast Point. It's their Victory at Sea, their Imperial Porter. It's a really good beer. You should check it out if you haven't already. Also had Samuel Smith's Organic Chocolate Stout for the first time in 2016, as well as Oskar Blues out there in Longmont, Colorado. Their Hotbox Coffee Porter is a really good coffee porter you should try. Another one from Bell's Brewery. Bell's very popular for the Craft Brew Crew this year. Oatsmobile Ale. It's a pale ale that has an oaty flavor to it. I really liked it for something different. I'm always looking for things to have just a slightly different flavor, adding a special kick to it. And Oatsmobile Ale from Bell's is a really good one. Also, this was one that was a surprise this summer that I had in St. Louis. It's from New Mexico, a place called Abbey Brewing. They had a Dark Night seasonal beer. It was a darker beer. I would call it more like a black ale, but it had some nutmeg in it, and it had this really tasty holiday taste to it, and I really enjoyed it for something different in summer. I just love nutmeg in my beers for some reason. I don't know why. Also from the St. Louis area, out of Columbia, Missouri, there's a new beer called Mammut Mild Ale. I believe it's an English-style mild ale from a brewing company called Logboat Brewing in Columbia, Missouri. That's a good beer. You got to check it out. And another one that's hard to get, I think it's only available in the tap room in St. Louis. Schlafly had a coconut cream ale. It was to die for. I really, really enjoyed it. A very high-rated beer for us this year on the Craft Brew Crew. And another one from the St. Louis area, I believe it's called Charlieville Brewing. It is Late Night Karate Kicks. It was that stout, a coffee stout, and you can see the actual review right here on the Craft Brew Crew YouTube channel we've got here. I'm going to put the links to those down below in the description of this particular video so you can go watch more about those beers. So yeah, Late Night Karate Kicks from Charlieville Brewing. It's a good beer. Finally, the last two I want to mention, I'm looking forward to finding this one again very soon. It was Anchor Brewing's Winter Wheat. It's a dark wheat. It was so tasty, and I cannot wait for it to come back out again this year in 2017. Please don't let me down, Anchor Brewing. And finally, I promised him I would mention him again, and I have to. I spent more time. It's been 3 years, but I spent more time at Smiling Toad Brewery in Colorado, in Colorado Springs, and I met once again with the owner, Biff, and that guy is so fantastic. He recognized me from across the bar, from across the tap room. He came over, he shook my head, said, "Hey, I remember you." We sat down and we must have talked for, I don't know, 2 hours, and he's just such a fantastic guy. If you get to Colorado Springs, Smiling Toad Brewery is my favorite craft brewery in Colorado. I just have to say it. They really are. Biff is fantastic. Fred, I mean, they are all just super guys. They make you feel welcome when you come in. They've moved to a new location. It's bigger. It's even better than the first one when I was there. But he remembered me from 3 years ago, and I just had the most fantastic time talking to Biff while there, and also enjoying a special coconut porter right up the lines of Death by Coconut by Oskar Blues. To be honest with you, it might have even been a little bit better. Fantastic job, as always, with the beers there at Smiling Toad and Biff. So once again, thank you so much, Biff, at Smiling Toad. And also check them out, smilingtoadbrewery.com. Again, that's smilingtoadbrewery.com. Want to thank all of you for watching the Craft Brew Crew again in 2016. We will kick things off next year. We'll do some more in 2017. I am Brad for the Craft Brew Crew. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't already, please do. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.